world's fittest, bravest, fastest, and most steely-nerved parkour free-running trusseurs met in Tampa, Florida for the WFPF USA Parkour Cup 2018. 2 days of thrilling, head-spinning, gravity-defying, and absolutely mind-blowing parkour free-running action. The beautiful Tampa Bay area of Central Florida is a bustling and sprawling metropolitan zone that is world famous as a holiday and leisure destination centered around the vibrant, historic city center of downtown Ybor City, with its colorful streets, fun-filled venues, and day and night entertainment that coincided with Tampa's own version of the Mardi Gras, the traditional Pirates Convention, Gasparilla. A 24-hour celebration of music, fun, partying, and of course, pirates. Tampa was a fitting location to host the WFPF USA Parkour Cup, organized under the auspices of the World Free-Running Parkour Federation, the WFPF, and the International Parkour Federation, the IPF. The IPF recently signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the International Gymnastics Federation to collaborate in their efforts to spread parkour and shepherd it towards inclusion in the 2024 Summer Olympic Games. Dedicated to the advancement of parkour free running throughout the world, the WFPF, which was founded in 2008, is the foremost global platform for worldwide parkour competitions, providing standardized gameplay, judges, judging criteria, safety and course guidelines, as well as athlete mentoring, marketing, and social media. Together with the IPF and USA Parkour, WFPF produced the USA Parkour Cup at the Tampa State Fairgrounds, alongside the Suncoast Sports Festival Girls and Boys Gymnastics Championship. There were 4 competitive disciplines at the WFPF USA Parkour Cup: the speed round, a live after 5, the skills round, and the freestyle finals, as trusseurs, male and female, amateur and professional from the US and abroad, gathered for a shot at parkour free-running glory, their physical achievements defying description, raising the bar on what is thought and believed to be possible. Amateurs got a chance to take on some of the most world-renowned pros, while others made their way through regional qualifiers in 6 locations across the United States to have the privilege of going up against the big boys in Tampa. Would Ukrainian maestro Eric Mukhamadshin steal the show?
I'm gonna go against myself. That's the only thing. They're all my friends. I don't need to go against them. Yes, that's everything I can say. I'm excited to see their runs, and I'm excited to see mine.
Or will Chris Bogdansky, who designs the courses, have the best lay of the land? Will there be some surprises in the mix, including freestyle wildcard Sean Higgins, daredevil Sean Bautista, or the powerful Joe Scandrett of the UK? Or would Joey Adrian repeat his winning performance at the WFPF Jump Off World Championships in Las Vegas last year? We asked Joey about who the main challengers would be.
I've been competing with all of them over the last number of years, all top competitors. Sean Higgins is the only one that is like a little unknown. Like obviously everybody knows Eric for his massive tricks. Everybody knows Joe, he's got some insane lines, very creative stuff. He's been doing insane descents lately. Like he's a powerhouse. Sean is one that he's a little more low key, but he's on that top level. Like he very easily could have won last year's competition. He just got a little bit gassed out and fell on his last move, and that's what took him out of it. He's got like a breakdancing style, very good flow, and moves super fast, so he's awesome.
I've never podiumed, so that is definitely my goal this weekend, is to try and get a top 3 spot.
It's a talent-packed roster of trusseurs, and anything could happen. The WFPF USA Parkour Cup kicked off with the speed round, Pure parkour, an A to B timed race through a target-based course where fastest times determine the winner.
Really, like, the big thing that we look for in speed rounds is having someone be able to cut back and forth and change up their route constantly to really push them as an athlete. Because you want to involve bars, you want to involve strides, you want to involve heights, you want to involve lows. So you want to really engage your legs and like really push them.
You against the stopwatch. We have a laser timer, so it's very accurate as far as when they cross that line. So what we do is we station referees, if you will, at different checkpoints to make sure that certain things are getting hit. So we might have areas that are, the floor is lava, so don't touch this. Or we say there might be a checkpoint in a certain angle that we want you to achieve. In the event that you miss one of those, you'll get an infraction of up to half a second. Sometimes if you do opt to, like, if this skill of this section of the course is too difficult, you can choose to opt out of it, but it will hurt your overall time at the end.
Michael Ellis was the first to set a good time in the speed round, quick on the ascent, smooth coming down before handling the challenging double bar section with skill, landing outside the orange no-go zone, skimming over the obstacles one by one, fast through those vaults, muscling up to the top there as he gets into the last stage of his run, lazying down and bringing it home with a time of 27.60, and that gives Michael Ellis the provisional lead. Lucas Aspinall-Steer had a powerful start, muscling up and then shooting down, touching the target with his foot, taking on the double bars. No tic-tac off the wall for him, but he's unable to clear the orange. That'll be a half-second penalty. Smooth going into the vaults, conging over and clearing the boxes, touching the next target as he heads into the final sprint of his run, muscling up onto the platform. Dynamic closing sequence from Lucas, and he does it. 26.43, he beats Ellis's time. Lucas Aspinall-Steer with a provisional lead. Further down the field, it was Kenny Sullivan. He wanted to make the most of his height advantage and get a solid time in for the speed round. He made that start look effortless, using his speed well to get through the double bar passage, but he was unable to clear the orange. He'll take the half-second penalty, but he's trying to make up for that in the vault section, making light work of it as he taps the next target, and he hurls himself to the high platform, makes it look easy. This is exceptional speed from Sullivan, 24.83. That is impressive. Tevon McVeigh was an unknown entity entering the speed round, but right from the get-go he raised eyebrows, virtually jumping over the first platform and tapping that first target in record time before hurtling through the double bar section with near perfection, clearing the orange lines fast as lightning into the vault, conging through effortlessly, almost completely clearing that box. This was looking immaculate for Tevon McVeigh. This was going to be a knockout time, 20.99. Tevon McVeigh just blew the competition right out of the water, and his fellow Trasseurs pay their respects. Ian Christensen had his work cut out for him. A big time to beat from Tevon McVeigh, but Christensen had a great start. He tic-tacs through the double wall section, very smooth, clears the orange, lazies down and glides through the vaults, taps that second target, and hurls himself into the last part of the course, fast up the platform, dashing down and a good time, but nowhere near good enough to beat Tevon McVeigh, who has so far proved to be in a class of his own. Trasseur after Trasseur took to the course and laid down their times, but McVeigh's time was unbeaten. There were also 4 women competing in the ladies category, in which the fastest was Brazilian talent Camila Stefania Ribeiro. Eventually, only 3 competitors were left in the men's field who could take on Tevon McVeigh's time: Chris Bogdansky, Joey Adrian, and Eric Mukametshin. A formidable set of athletes, and Chris Bogdansky was first out. Shot out at the start, superb speed over the first stage of hurdles, tapping that first target in no time, going for the tic-tac on the double bars, but having to settle for the penalty there. Now with some time to make up, working against him. He speeds right through the boxes and vaults, touches the second target, enters the last phase, not fast enough up to the top of that last platform. Bogdansky gives it all he's got, but it's more than 6 seconds off Tevon McVeigh's pace. Joey Adrian was up after Bogdansky. Good powerful start, scrambles up through the first platform, drops for a 1-2 onto that first target, Quick back out, the tough double bar section, beautiful tic-tac, and clears the orange. So far so good from Joey Adrian. Powerful leaps, zipping through the vaults, big jump, taps that second target, into the final stretch now. Can Joey Adrian do it? Muscle up, drop down on the other side, across the line, good time, but again, nowhere near good enough to challenge McVeigh. There was only one man left, but it was the biggest name in the field, Eric Mukametshin. If anyone could beat McVeigh, it's this guy. All eyes were on the Ukrainian, up there in no time, dashing down to the first target, brilliant through the double bars, tic-tac and a step to the side, incredible speed through the boxes, over the vaults, onto the second target. Eric Mukametshin is incredibly fast, flies up to the top of the second platform, rolls across the finish line, amazing time, 23.21, but he will have to settle for second best on the day. The winner of the speed round, Tivon McVeigh, the unknown entity, proves to be by far the fastest and best of the speed round on the day. McVeigh beats Mukametshin by nearly 2.5 seconds. In third place, it's Kenny Sullivan, who has 2 seconds up on Joey Adrian in fourth. Great result for Ian Christensen in fifth, followed by Michael Ellis in sixth, after Chris Bogdanski and Lucas Aspinall-Steer incur half-second penalties for stepping on the orange out of the double bars. The Alive After 5 elimination round. 5 competitors in each 3-minute heat, battling it out on the course jam style, showing their best tricks and creative lines, with only 2 competitors moving on.
I really like the idea of Alive After 5 because it's a jamming system. So you're basically jamming, having fun with your friends, and then that's the competition, you know? You can't think what you're gonna do. It's just like you're there at that moment and you're just doing stuff. It's quite tough, but yeah, I like it anyway.
The first group of 5 in the Alive After 5 consisted of Joe Scandrett, Austin Mitchell, Jared Ludy, Justin Torres, and Lucas Aspinall-Steer. In the end, Joe Scandrett and Jared Ludy would prove the best of Group 1, moving on to the skills round for a shot at the freestyle finals. The second group featured Sean Bautista, Chris Bogdanski, RJ Minor, Michael Franco, and Levi Hagen. Pros Bogdanski and Bautista standing out as the favorites of the group, where Trasseurs put on a wicked set of combos and tricks, feeding off each other as they entertained the crowds and put on an excellent jam-style session. In the end, only 2 would go through to the skills round, and those 2 were Chris Bogdanski and Sean Bautista. Group 3 saw Joey Adrian, Renan Lucas, Connor Mankey, Tommy Haverland, and Brody Welch hit the Alive After 5 course. Joey Adrian, one of the favorites, living up to his name and reputation, putting on an awesome display. Joey Adrian was on fire, living it up out there as he received a standing ovation from the crowd. Also on fire was Renan Lucas from Brazil, and at the end of their deliberation, USA Parkour judges gave the 2 skills round spots to Joey Adrian and Renan Lucas. In Group 4, it was Nathan Schrader, Lucas Crispin, Ty Newman, JD Nance, and Parker Taylor going head-to-head in the Alive After 5, and it was action from the get-go with some brilliant moves from qualifier JD Nance, wowing the crowds with some sick combos, and also a brilliant display from Parker Taylor that sent the crowds and his fellow Trasseurs into a frenzy. Nathan Schrader produced some great moves, the only professional in the group, but in the end it was a surprise outcome as JD Nance and Parker Taylor were the ones who advanced into the skills round. The 5th group was a whirlwind out there, with pro Ryan Zeph Gregory and Nepalese talent Dinesh producing some incredible moves alongside Zachary Walgas, Ian Christensen, and Sihla. Dinesh was so caught up in the action, he literally lost his shirt.
Hey, the 3 minutes was, it was tough, but it was really fun and interesting to have the 3-minute kind of like jam style with everybody. It was really fun. I just kept it super safe and simple, but it was awesome.
The winners of Group 5, Dinesh and Ryan Gregory. Group 6, it's Nick Wolf, Louis Chavez, Sean Higgins, Ethan Guzman, and Seth Jung. All eyes were on Sean Higgins to see what moves he'd produce, but it was the other competitors who wowed the crowds with outstanding performances from Louis Chavez and Ethan Guzman. taking the 2 slots, but as a wild card, Sean Higgins would go through to the skills round. In the 7th group, you had Jason Gray, Matin Maxatefi, Tofu Boy, and Eric Mukamichin. Eric Mukamichin was impeccable, laying it all out there to a standing ovation from the crowd. But Jason Gray was also outstanding, the two producing some fun jams together. Matin Maxatefi was on fire, the Iranian-born American producing some of the best moves of the session. And the last 2 spots go to Matin and Eric as the event moves on into the skills round. Here are the 14 trusseurs who'll meet in the skills round. The skills round, using designated setups for vaults, drops, bars, and wall. Each competitor would throw 1 skill at each obstacle. Highest combined scores move on to the freestyle finals round, and trusseurs get a chance to take home the sickest trick award. Trusseurs produced their most distinctive moves over the 4 obstacles, each one focusing on their strongest moves in vaults, drops, bars, and wall, as they put it all out there with a shot at the freestyle finals.
We've entered the best skills round now. 5 athletes entering, only 4 get to move on to the finals. Each athlete's gonna get 1 chance to throw their sickest trick on our 4 key events. We have drop, we have wall, we have bars, and then we're gonna finish it off with the vaults. 1 chance to get to the finals, see who wins.
In the first group, Chris Bogdansky and JD Nance did not produce the results they were looking for, and they were unable to make the finals despite giving it their best shots. It was Joey Adrian who finished on top, followed by Joe Scandrett, and in 3rd place, Jared Ludi. In the group of death, a star-studded pack of 5 trusseurs, Luis Chavez this time put it all out there, producing some good tricks, but was unable to repeat his Alive After 5 success. Sean Batista found the moves to finish 3rd in his group, stopping a side flip in expert fashion. But the top 2 of the group were Sean Higgins and Eric Mukamichin. It was one impressive move after the next as Higgins and Mukamichin put on a parkour free-running feast. In the 3rd group, Renan Lucas was unable to produce the moves he wanted, finishing last in his group despite giving it his all. Ryan Gregory was also unable to find his best form, finishing 4th, but he would still make it to the finals. Dinesh from Nepal put in another stunning performance to finish 3rd. Good result from him after his Alive After 5 top 2 finish. Parker Taylor followed up on his Alive After 5 2nd place finish as well, with another 2nd place finish in his group in the skills round. But the man who stole the show was Ethan Guzman. He led the group and the entire skills competition field with his overall score, wowing the judges and fans alike, earning the kudos of his fellow trusseurs.
I was very surprised considering this is like my 4th competition, and I'm speechless. That's all I gotta say.
The final and perhaps the most anticipated event of the WFPF USA Parkour Cup was the Freestyle Finals, where the top finishers from the Alive After 5 and Skills round met in a 90-second anything goes throwdown of the top athletes' best skills and combinations, judged on flow, versatility, difficulty, and execution. Ryan Zeph Gregory was up, putting in a solid routine with a spin ball, a step-up side flip, and some good wall moves. Jared Ludi got things off to a roaring start with a nice step-up side, followed by a waffle, A spin move up the top of the platform, a nice big pump swing off the lâché, ending things up with a tack 360 off the wall and a hanging cast. Jared Ludi racks up 80 points to take the lead from Ryan Zeff Gregory. Matin Maxatefi goes for an elbow cast back, a one-handed palm flip, and then a cartwheel combo. His routine displayed excellent flow, and it earned him the lead in the freestyle finals. There were some brilliant flourishes from Dinesh Sonar and Parker Taylor, but they weren't able to challenge Matin Maxatefi. While Dinesh entertained the crowd with his unique and creative repertoire, Parker Taylor proved he has a bright future ahead of him. Dinesh ended his routine by shedding off some extra garments. In the women's freestyle, Carly Four had a good start to her run, but she finished third behind Sarah Mudallal from LA, who produced a good display to come in second, and Maddie Muchenberger, who came in fourth. But the best of the girls proved to be Camila Stefania Ribeiro, the Brazilian sealing the women's win with some brilliant moves. Joe Scandrett got things off to a flying start with some excellent wall tricks, powerful moves, and good flow, and that earned the lead for the British Tressor, who sealed the deal with a gargoyle gainer. Luis Chavez came out with a very good display, smooth, unrelenting, and very well thought out, earning the young Tressor a total of 88.25 points that earned him the lead over Joe Scandrett. And then there was Sean Batista, who kicked things off with an incredible trick, a handstand gainer over concrete, and he followed that up with some great bar and floor moves. But a slip up on that landing would cost Batista the possible lead, despite his Webster side flip pre into double B twist.
Kinda messed up, but I did the handstand gainer, and that was my main goal. So, I'm happy about that. Dude, that's all I gotta say.
All your moves are spectacular, man. I loved it.
Joey Adrian was up next. He was enjoying the show, but he knew he could add a little flourish to the whole spectacle himself. He was very focused, and he had thought out his routine very well. Joey Adrian was masterful, producing a nearly perfect executed routine, and it put him in the lead by just 0.75 points ahead of Luis Chavez. Next up was the man from Ukraine, the incredible Eric Mukamechin, the man all the other Tressors look up to with his power, speed, skill, and creativity. And Mukamechin did not disappoint, kicking things off with a huge two-step wall flip and keeping things going with some impressive momentum, utilizing his biggest strength, the bars, keeping it tight and intense throughout from start to finish. And that gives Mukamechin a whopping 91.25 points. He takes the lead with just 2 men left in the field. Can they beat Mukamechin? One of the most anticipated Tressors of the event is Sean Higgins. Everyone anxious to see what this man can do. He charges into his routine with a Webster side flip brie, and he never looks back. It's very good, very tight display from Sean Higgins, but it wasn't perfect. His score might not be enough for a podium. Next up was the skills round winner, Ethan Guzman, the last man of the freestyle finals. Guzman starts off big with a double cork, then a Webster elevator front up, followed by a one-handed backflip, and he let it all flow from there with a cart and a flow, but would it be enough? thickest trick award would go to the fearless Sean Bautista, who stunned the crowd with a heart-stopping handstand gainer over concrete. The winner of the freestyle finals, Eric Mukametshin. Joey Adrian runner-up, Louis Chavez third, Sean Higgins comes in fourth, just ahead of Joe Scandrett fifth. Then Ethan Guzman, Sean Bautista, and Matin Maxatefi completing the top 8.
Feel good. Exhausted though. I'm kind of tired. Like my legs are dead, but good. First. Or else.
And that concludes a heart-stopping, action-packed WFPF USA Parkour 2018. See you in the next rounds when the tour heads to Europe.